This video is rated TV-16, has some harsh language which may not be appropriate for younger audiences. Viewer discretion is advised. Heavy Metal Explosion coming at you with another figure discussion, and this here is the Velocity Armor Spider-Man. And I kind of made that sound like I knew what I was talking about. I have no clue about this figure, guys. This suit, nothing. None whatsoever. I'm guessing I don't know if it came out in the video game first or if it came out in the comic books. Marvel does there, and DC will periodically do a reset and give you brand new number ones. Me personally, if I must delve into the comic book situation, I don't think there's ever a need to restart to a number one issue. You have low points. I guess someone once described it to me like it's like remodeling a house. If you're gonna sell a house in 2020, then you don't want it to look like a 1975 interior. You're gonna want to upgrade. You're gonna want to update. So the rehashes to the number ones are kind of like their remodeling process. I would say yes, I agree with that analogy up to the point of, say, comic books and probably even toys to a certain extent. I don't think in the comic book industry that the amount of financial loss and gains are enough to dictate a reboot of all your number ones. I never thought that. I don't think it now. I find it more exciting to see how far you're willing to take the numbering of a comic book, i.e., here, say Detective Comics. Are you willing to reach that 1,000 mark with books being sold? Spawn just recently, not that long ago, had their world record 300 issues. Will Todd ever deviate from that? I doubt it very seriously. I think reaching the 300 mark is probably a goal, especially when you hit the Guinness Book of World Records in it. Some of these things you're able to reach new flares with new heights by having monumental issues. Now granted, DC Comics been around a lot longer than Marvel, but I would dare say that a lot of people would like to see a Uncanny X-Men 1000 at some point, an Amazing Spider-Man 1000 at some point. So yeah, I stopped my rant here is that I stopped collecting comic books not long after they did their first reboot, and I just said, I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not gonna go back through it. You know, if you want to add a book, much like the Spider-Man series came on with Todd McFarlane running the show, basically, you want to give you a number one there, that's fine. Give me a number one, but let's see how long that would last. You know, let's go before you think you have to sever the ties and say no, this book isn't doing it very well. We're going to just cancel it. You know, um, Amazing Spider-Man, I don't believe would ever need that situation. Sure, you'll have some lows, but you'll have more highs than lows. You know, but let's get in with this figure. I've done talked long enough and about my disagreement with that situation. So anyway, I don't know anything about this figure. Leave a comment down below and let me know what this is all about. And what I do like about this figure is that you have a lot of angular lines here. You know, if you look at the sculpt work, it's very angular, almost like a suit of armor um, instead of a suit. The suit you kind of think of something like spandex, leather, um, something like that. But this here gives you makes you think that this is more armor than an actual, suited. Um, I think of military suit up, but I think of armor. I think more of your medieval armors. Yes, they were called suits of armors because I would have to look up the definition for suit. But I would dare say it's probably in reference to a person having to put something on. It's clothing of some sort. So a suit of armor. But anyway, so this here you've got some rib texture right there, and that's angular. The chest, the abs, you don't really see. There is a slight definition right there and maybe right there, but you don't really see those too much because this is more of an armor than spandex or leather, so you're not going to see those features as much. Just like with your legs here, there's no muscle distinction. There's just these little subtle angular lines here. I really, really like that. And it looks like, I'm not 100% sure, but with all this sculpt work on here, I would say this is 100% brand new sculpt. Like I said, I don't collect Marvel Legend figures. I'm more of a 4-inch guy, 3 3/4 classic figures. I've got a bunch of those in the Marvel line. I really like those. I think it's my fascination with the old G.I. Joe figures that I grew up with back in the 80s that just kind of made itself, more that I grew up with, I guess. It's oh gosh, what's the term? I can't remember the term, guys. Anyway, nostalgic. It's more nostalgic for me. So the larger figures, although I do have some, I do like some, they're not my bread and butter. I'll get out here, might as well start somewhere with the articulation, right? I'm holding this guy by the legs long enough. Legs go out that far. Front goes there. Back does nothing. I understand why they do this from time to time, mainly because it shows a complete sculpt work. But I would like to see at some point where they take these and give you a more natural back step you know, like if you do lunges or something, I mean, well, I don't know. That's kind of like a good lunge, isn't it? Right there. I don't know. But I still think that maybe it should come back. Maybe this should be a little bit shorter back in here. And so they can come back a little bit more. You do have a thigh, double jointed knee, and no robo. He can't kick his own damn ass. So you got back on the toe or foot forward and a rocker. Let's see. What I would like to see is a little toe joint here, like the old Toy Biz stuff. I like those toe joints. It gave you more dynamic feel to it. Moving up, we'll go up. The arms go up that far. You do have a bicep, double elbow if you can ever get them to move right. So there you go there. Hand swivel. Obviously, for whatever the reason, I'm not 100% for certain. They do away with some of these hands from time to time, especially in the Spider-Man. You would think that you would want some wall crawling hands, you know, and this guy came with nothing. I'm going to get into the accessory because I found that kind of funny up until I tried it out and got to realizing what it was used for. But you do have wrist articulation. You do have chest rocker, and like some of the guys out there have noticed that they're adding more articulation up in the bottom section here, the lower torso, where it looks more seamless depending on the pose you get them in. Rotation here, head goes up that far, so it's, you know, if you want to get them almost horizontal, you can. Comes down, and again, you got a hinge right here with, my guess is the ball joint up top. So you get a lot of movement. You don't get a whole lot of, what's the word, quizzical? Idea. Oh no, I broke my ankle. Yeah. So let's get in to this accessory piece. I'm not 100% sure what I thought this was at first. I was more or less thinking this is what it was kind of for, maybe sexy skirt. Oh, ooh la la. Some kind of weird halter top, maybe. I don't know. It wouldn't go up that far, would it? But then I realized, oh no, this is a shawl. Okay, so he can go out on the town and just look all pretty, like, oh, I'm Spider-Man, sexy man. No. I guess this is the webbing that he's used in order to capture his bad guys. You've been caught. Oh no. No. Woe is me. Oh. Okay. That's a bit creepy, I guess. So yeah, I like this figure, but I think in the end I'm gonna get rid of it because I don't like it that much. In order to keep it, I got what I wanted out of this set, and that was the Demo Goblin. So that's that's the one I'm gonna keep, at least for right now. I mean, uh, but yeah, it's a neat set. It's unique, I think, because a lot of the characters I'm not familiar with. Um, the Vulture, obviously, I am familiar with, but like most of the others, I don't think I really had any kind of attachment to them. And I didn't get into the Kung Fu comics, so I don't know a whole lot about Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi, Shang-Chi. I don't know a lot about him, and I don't even know if I made that video about that. I did not like that figure. I think that that's one of their figures that they should have took a whole lot more time with and made it way more posable, especially in the legs, because he should be able to just kick your head right, slam off your shoulders, and catch it with his toes, spin it around like a top, put it back on your head, your shoulders, and kick you in the ass and let you keep on walking. I mean, when you think of somebody that's a master of kung fu, that's what you think of. And I'm starting to deviate from my main goal here. Uh, Velocity Armor Spider-Man. I don't know a whole lot about it. Leave something, comments down below, and let me know what you know about this armor and educate me some. So again, until next time, guys, go out there, get to collecting, but stay safe. And that's my 2 cents.